Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Sew with Mediva. And if you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you for sticking to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to make this simple shift dress with zipper in front, and it also has a bishop neckline and two pockets on the side. And I achieved this style using 3 yards of African print fabric. This is what the back looks like. So if this is something you are interested in, make sure to keep watching and make sure you watch to the end, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. So I made use of 3 yards of this beautiful African print fabric. You're also going to need a lining and a zipper for the front panel. You need a very long zipper for this dress. I have my ruler, my chalk, my scissors and my tape rule. So guys, we're going to cut out the front and the back panels together, and I have my fabric folded already. So the front panel is bigger than the back because of the zipper allowance, and I have about 1.5 inches zipper allowance on the folded part of my fabric. So like I said, the front panel is in a fold and the back panel is also in a fold, but the front panel is bigger than the back. So to get the wideness of fabric to fold, I divided my hip measurement by 4, which is 11 inches. I added 1 inch for ease, making 12 inches, and 1.5 inches for seam allowance, making 13.5 inches. So for the back panel, I have 14 inches on fold, while for the front, I have about 15.5 inches on fold. I hope you guys understand. So the first thing to do is to mark out a starting line at the upper part of your fabric, and then mark the vertical measurement. So the first measurement is from my shoulder to my bust point, which is 10.5 inches. The next one is from my shoulder to my waistline, which is 16 inches, and then from my shoulder to my hip line, which is 24.5 inches. Then the full length of this dress from my shoulder is 38 inches, and I'll be adding 1 extra inch for the turning allowance. After marking all the vertical measurements, I'll go ahead to extend the lines this way. So you can see that I am only marking these lines on the back panel. I am not extending it into the zipper allowance. And then we're going to be taking all the measurements on the back panel as well. So from the folded angle of the back panel, I'll take the wideness of the neckline, which is 3 inches. And the depth of the back neckline is 1 inch, while the depth of the front neckline is 3 inches. And then I'll go ahead to connect the points together this way. After that, from the folded angle of the back panel again, I'll take my shoulder measurements divided by 2. Mine is 8 inches. And then I'll come down by 1 inch to mark my shoulder slope, then connect it to meet the neckline. So from the shoulder slope, I'll come down to mark my chest line. So to get your chest line, divide your bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5 inches to it. For me, it is 8 inches. So I'll connect it all the way up and further extend it this way. So after that, the next thing is to mark the round body measurement, and I'm going to be starting from the folded part of the back panel. So on the bust line, I'll mark my round bust measurements divided by 4. I'll add half an inch for ease and 1.5 inches for seam allowance. And on the waistline, I'll mark my round waist measurements divided by 4. So to get that snatched effect on the waist, you don't need to add any ease allowance. Just go ahead to add only your seam allowance. So for mine, it is 8.5 inches plus 1.5 inches for seam allowance to make 10 inches. And on the hip line, I'll mark the hip measurements divided by 4, which is 11 inches. I'll add 1 inch for ease and 1.5 inches for seam allowance, and then go ahead to connect the points together. So on the full length of my dress, I'm going to just come in by half an inch from this side and just go ahead to connect the points together this way. So after connecting, this is what we have, and then I'll further extend the bust line to meet the chest line. The next thing is to mark the armhole curve. I'll get the midpoint of this line, which is 4 inches for me. For the front armhole curve, I'll come in by half of an inch and then use my curved ruler to just create the curve this way. And for the back curve, I'll just go ahead to connect it from that midpoint this way. So I'll add half an inch allowance to the shoulder and then proceed to cut it out. So I cut out the back neckline first, and then I'll go ahead to mark out the front neckline, as you can see, and then cut it out. I'll cut out the shoulder and then cut out the back armhole first again. and then proceed to cut out the sides. So guys, don't forget to support my channel by joining my membership program. I'll leave the link pinned in the comment section. So this is just a way to support my channel with a little token. Thank you guys. So after cutting out, I'll go ahead to mark out the front armhole curve. Just go ahead to trace it on the front panel this way and then cut it out. So after that, I'll go ahead to just mark out the zipper allowance on the front panel. And then for the pocket, I'm going to come down by 2 inches from the waistline and just notch it on the sides of the fabric. So I'll notch it on all 4 fabrics this way. After that, I'll also notch the point where my zipper will stop and then open up the center front. So after opening up, this is what we have. I'm going to use these fabrics now to cut out my lining. So when I was cutting the lining, I made sure it is shorter than the main fabric by about 2 inches because I'm going to use it to turn it over at the base. And for the back, I also did the same thing, as you can see. So I'll separate the lining for the fabric now and use it to turn it over. So for the front panel, I have 2 pieces of my fabric and 2 pieces of the lining. So I'm going to place them right sides facing each other this way, and then I'll pull the lining to the base and just stitch it using 1/2 inch all the way down. After stitching, I'll then pull the lining back up by 1 inch of my fabric this way and then stitch this center front close and also stitch the side using 1/2 inch. So I'll repeat the same process on the other side. I'll pull the lining down, close it up on that side, and then close up the center front and the sides by 1/2 inch. I'll leave the neckline and the shoulder areas opened and then I'll show you guys. So guys, after I use the lining to turn it over, this is what we have. I also ironed it out and then I ironed in my 1 inch zipper allowance that is left. I hope you guys understand. We already used 1/2 inch to turn over with the lining, so I just ironed in the remaining 1 inch. I can see what the base looks like now. And for the back panel, I also did the same thing, as you can see. So the next one I want to do is to close up the zipper area. So I'm going to open up the folded parts this way and then just arrange my fabric very well. So you can decide to use a zipper that is longer than mine. It just depends on what you want. But this one also worked well for my dress. This zipper is about 24 inches long. So I'm going to place my zipper 1/2 inch above the neckline, as you can see. So wherever the zipper stopped, I'm going to mark it and then come up by 1 inch. Then go ahead to close it up, following that line all the way down. I'll close up the front part of my dress, following that line all the way down. Take it to your machine now and stitch it. So after stitching, this is what we have. Next thing I want to do is to insert the zipper. So I'll go ahead to open up the front panel this way, and then I'll place the right side of my zipper facing the fabric this way. So like I said earlier, you're going to lift your zipper up by 1/2 inch and then go ahead to pin the zipper directly on that line. Directly on the line that you created with your iron, go ahead to pin the zipper on it like this. And then I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. I'll pin my zipper to the line. So after pinning, I'll take it to the sewing machine now and run a straight stitch all the way down, making sure you are stitching very close to the zipper. So when I'm done doing all of that, I will show you guys. So guys, after inserting the zipper, this is what it looks like in front. You can see how neat it looks, and this is what the wrong side looks like now. So you can as well iron that point down with your hemming gum. So the next thing I want to do is to insert the pocket, and I'm gonna head to fix the fabrics for the pockets of the dress. So you can see that while I was stitching the fabric, I followed the shape of my dress. So make sure to follow the same shape as you are stitching. So I came down 2 inches from the waistline for my pocket, and the wideness is about 8 inches, as you can see. So I use the same 1 inch seam allowance I'll be using to join the sides to sew the pocket fabric to the main fabric. I hope you guys understand, so that it follows the same shape when you are sewing. And I did the same thing for the back as well. The next thing we want to do is to join the front and the back panels together. So I'm going to place them right sides facing each other this way. And then I'll start with the shoulder areas. I'll close it up using 1/2 inch, and then I'll also close up the other one. And then for the sides, I'll merge it together and also merge my pocket fabrics facing each other this way. So I'll close up the sides using the remaining 1 inch seam allowance, since I already used 1/2 inch to close to turn over with the lining. So when I get to the pocket area, I'm just going to lift my footer up, go ahead to turn my fabric, close up the pocket, and then continue following that same seam I used to join my pocket fabric. I hope you guys understand. And on the other side, I'll do the same thing. So make sure the seam you are using to close up and the pocket seam is on the same line. So when I'm done with that, I'll show you guys. So guys, after closing up, this is what we have. So you can barely even notice that I have a pocket on the side because I followed the same line. Like everything is on the same line, as you can see. So I'll just go ahead to iron it out so that it can relax very well. So the next thing I want to work on is the sleeve, and I have the fabric cut out already. I'm cutting out the two sleeves together, so I have both fabrics in a fold. So for the wideness, I used my armhole measurement, which is 8 inches, and then I added 1/2 inch for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance. I'll mark out a starting line at the base of the fabric this way, and then come down to mark the full length. So my full length sleeve is 23.5 inches, and I added extra 1.5 inches because of the elastic casing. So I'll go ahead to mark it out there. And then from that line I marked out initially, I'll come down to mark my cap's height, which is 4 inches. To get your cap's height, divide your bust measurements by 12 and add 1/2 inch to it. So extend the line this way. So on this new line I just marked, I'm going to mark my armhole measurement. Divided by 2 is 8 inches plus 1/2 inch for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance. And then I'll go ahead to connect it all the way up this way. So I'll get the midpoint of this new line, which is around 5 inches for me, and then I'll come up by 1/2 inch and come down by 1/2 inch, forming a curve. Then I'll just extend this line all the way down, since I'm going to be having elastic at the base, so you don't need to shape your sleeve, and then go ahead to cut it out. So I'll notch the point where my elastic casing is going to stop, and then I'll open it up. So after opening up, I'll go ahead to fold in the elastic casing. I'll fold in 1/2 inch once and fold in 1 inch again, making sure that the fold stops at the notched point. I'll fold one and then fold in again and then stitch it all the way down. So after folding, this is what we have. The next thing we want to do is to insert the elastic band, and I'll be working with this 1/2 inch elastic. So go ahead to measure around your wrist. For mine I have 7 inches, and I'll be using that same 7 inches as the length of my elastic, since I'm still going to take in some allowance on the side. So I'll use my pin now to pass in my elastic band this way. So go ahead to stitch down this edge, or just use your pin to hold it down so that it doesn't run into the casing, and then proceed to pass in the remaining part of the elastic. So when it gets to this edge, I'll also stitch it down. After stitching, I'll then fold my sleeve into two this way, and then use my 1 inch seam allowance to close it up all the way down. So I'll repeat the same process on the other sleeve and then show you guys when I'm done. So after creating the sleeve, this is what it looks like. You can see the elastic effect at the base of the sleeve. The next thing we want to do is to notch the crown of the sleeve, which is the highest point, and then attach it to the dress. So I'll just pass in my sleeve through the wrong side of my dress. So open up the zipper and pass in the right side of your sleeve through the wrong side of your dress this way, and then merge the notched points to the shoulder joining with your pin, and then go ahead to stitch it all the way around using 1/2 inch. So I'll insert the other sleeve and show you guys. So guys, after inserting the sleeves, this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful the dress looks already. The next thing we want to work on is the collar for this dress. So what you're going to do now is to measure around the neckline. So starting from one side of the front panel, I'm going to go ahead and measure what I have carefully. So make sure to do this carefully. So I'll measure all around the neckline this way, and for mine I have about 20 inches. So let's go ahead to cut out the collar. So for the collar, I have this fabric cut out already. I'll go ahead to fold it into two and then further fold it into four. So after folding, I'll come over to the apex of this fold. We're going to be cutting this in form of as if we are cutting a circle. So I'll go ahead to divide that 20 inches by 4 since my fabric is in a fold of 4, which is 5 inches. So I'm going to mark 5 inches all the way around from that point. And then for the height, I'm going to do 2.5 inches since I'm going to be having joining allowance. So I mark 2.5 inches. So I'll go ahead now to cut it out. So after cutting out, when you open up, you should have something that looks like this. And then I'll go ahead to rip the sides opened. So at this point, make sure to iron your gum stay or your collar stay to the wrong side of this fabric, and then place them right sides facing each other. Then close up the upper part, which is a smaller circle, and also close up the sides. So after joining the two fabrics together, I'll go ahead to reduce the seam on the wrong side so that the collar appears neat on the right side. And then I'll flip it over now to the right side. So after flipping over, go ahead to iron the fabric so that the collar can relax very well. So this is what we have. So I'll go ahead now to close up the base of this collar so that it just relaxes well. That is optional. And when I'm done with that, I also reduce the seam, as you can see. So what you should do now is to measure what you have at the base, which is that part that will go around the neckline, and make sure it is exactly that same 20 inches you measured. So make sure that before you close up the base, you have confirmed that you have the exact neckline measurement that you're working with. So fold the collar into two and notch the center point, and also fold the neckline into two and notch the center. So I'm going to place them this way, right sides facing each other, and then use my pin to hold it down. So I'll go ahead to carefully pin my collar to the neckline this way. So if you had confirmed the measurement earlier, you see that the collar is going to stop exactly at the zipper point, just like mine. And then I'll also pin the other side all the way down, and the collar should also stop exactly on the zipper point. So I'll take it to my sewing machine now and join them together using 1/2 inch. So when I'm done, I'll have something that looks just like this. It's going to look like this when I'm done stitching. So guys, after stitching the collar, this is what we have. You can see how beautiful and how neat it looks. It will even look better if you iron your stay to the collar before fixing it. So guys, this is where we'll end this video for today. I hope you found it useful and I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, share to your loved ones, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.